And now it's time for our weekly arts and culture segment. And for this, we're joined by our culture correspondent, Kim Yeon-seung, in the studio with us. Welcome, Yeon-seung.
As always, I'm glad to be here.
So let's jump right in. What do you have for us today?
Well, it is a bit chilly outside, so I did bring a story that may hopefully warm the hearts of a lot of people.
What is it, Yeon-seung?
Okay, it's songs about love. Soprano Jo Su-mi is back with a new album called In Love, and it's her first album in more than 3 years, and it's packed with Korean art songs and creations from South Korean musicians. It's emotionally captivating, and it touches upon the sentiment of love and sorrow. Jo Su-mi has always been a very strong voice for the Korean art songs, and throughout her long career, this album is part of her efforts to promote Korean music. Take a listen. The Queen is back. World-famous soprano Jo Su-mi returns with her first album in 3.5 years. It's called In Love, and you can probably guess what it's about. It's a mix of everything from Korean art songs to jazz and classical to traditional Korean music.
This year is the 100th anniversary of Korean art songs, but I feel like a lot of people still find the genre difficult to enjoy. So I wanted to make an album that made Korean art songs approachable in terms of arrangement and singing style.
Jo Su-mi has always been an advocate of Korean music and culture. During her long career stretching 3.5 decades, she's used her presence on the world stage to promote Korean art songs. In 1994, she insisted on putting the Korean art song 보리밭, or barley field, in her album produced with Erato Records, part of the Warner Music Group. This new album, In Love, is packed full of creations from talented South Korean musicians. Top-tier artists involved in the project include violinist Danny Koo and bass baritone Kim Yeon-seung.
Korean art songs are based on poetry, and there are a lot of Korean sentiments in the lyrics, like Han, a kind of profound sorrow. Contemporary art songs help comfort people in love with easy-to-understand words.
One of the album's tracks even combines the harp with a traditional Korean instrument haegum, an unusual combination.
Our traditional instruments may sound a bit off-key from the classical instruments because they have very different pitches and vibrations. I had to study and practice hard on how to coordinate our sounds.
Jo Su-mi says she hopes that Korean art songs can spread across the world like K-pop. She will hold a live performance for this album at Seoul Art Center on December 23rd, with the proceeds going to people in need. Jo Su-mi also said that she toned down a lot of her soprano singing style for this album so that it's more approachable for the general public. So those who are not a particular fan of the opera can also enjoy the album and the end of the year show.
Right. I actually loved how she experimented with Western classical and also Korean traditional music.
Yeah, so did I. So I looked for if there were any more performances that combine this Western style and Korean traditional. And I brought another great show recommendation to the studio here. Many of our viewers may be familiar with Ernest Hemingway's novel, The Old Man and the Sea. Lee Ja-ram, a Korean traditional pansori singer who's been labeled as one of the country's most important intangible cultural assets, has put her own spin into it. She's going to be singing this novella in pansori this Friday and Saturday at the Seoul LG Art Center. I'm personally very interested to see how creativity will bloom through the combination of this uniquely Korean narrations and singing style called pansori and this world-renowned novel. And it's this type of mix and match that truly creates something original. So I highly recommend this performance to our viewers.
All right, Yeon-seung, thank you so much for your recommendations. I'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you.